Hello, my friends. I'm going to talk about consistency a little bit today. And I love consistency. I love having routines and habits and things that I do regularly on a daily basis or a weekly basis or monthly or even yearly. And I like committing to doing something that's consistent as well. For me, it helps me be accountable and reach my goals and see the results. And so for me, being consistent is really important. And I see it being a really good tool as well for my clients and just for a lot of people in my life, that having a consistent way of being and a consistent set of actions that you do on a regular basis is really, really helpful. But this morning, I realized that I had forgotten to post a social media post. And since January, I have been very consistent, 100% consistent, about posting 3 times a week. And this morning, I realized I had forgotten. And so my consistency streak was broken. And it was really interesting because the first thing that popped into my head was beating myself up over that and questioning myself. Like, how could I have forgotten? How could I have forgotten to do this? You've been so consistent. I can't believe you did this. All this kind of like beating myself up thoughts. And I'm pretty good about stopping that in the tracks. Like I'm pretty good about noticing that and just stopping that. And I was like, no, we're not going to go there. I'm going to give myself some grace and some compassion and some flexibility. Like it's okay, right? And an interesting thing happened then. I almost started going the other direction where my brain started saying, yeah, that's right. Like, who cares? It's just one post. No one's going to notice. It's not a big deal. And kind of sort of going the other direction of almost being apathetic or trying to justify things and make excuses. And I recognized that pretty quickly as well. And recognizing those two things brought me into more of a kind of centered situation where I realized there has to be sort of this middle ground of allowing yourself grace and flexibility and openness to doing things a little bit differently and maybe falling off that consistency bandwagon every now and again. But tempering that with not giving into excuses or justifications or just kind of forgetting about it because, well, we broke the streak, so therefore we're just not going to do it ever again, kind of thing. So it's really interesting how our mind works in those two different polarities and bringing ourselves back into some sort of happy medium. And for me, that kind of caused me to think about, okay, well, that's okay. Like you didn't post a post, but you could do something different. You can post a video. You can do, you can repost something, you can share something. There's always ways to, solve the problem, so to speak, without beating yourself up. But if I had let myself get into that vortex of beating myself up, I would have felt worse and worse, and for sure would not have done anything about it. And if I would have let myself get sucked into the excuses and just the justifications and the yeah buts, you were super busy and you went out with friends last night, and so therefore, that's an excuse to forget to do things and be consistent, that also wouldn't have been very purposeful and helped me get back on track. So it's really recognizing those thoughts in our head and just kind of stopping them and thinking about them and allowing them, but also telling them, okay, we're not going to go in either of those directions. We're going to breathe. I went for a walk, I meditated, I thought about it, and was really able to ground myself down. So I'm offering that up to you because I know, especially in the summer, different things are happening, right? We are going out with friends, we're maybe staying up a little bit later, it's nicer out, our routines have changed a little bit, kids are out of school, like all these things that are happening that breaks our consistency or, just, I don't know, just allows us to do something a little bit different. And instead of beating ourselves up or that, or instead of giving into the I'm never going to get back on track situation, I'm just urging you to be really mindful of those thoughts and encouraging you to know that you can get back on track and just center yourself. Like I said, breathe, think about it, maybe close your eyes and just figure out what's one little step that I can do to get back into being consistent about whatever it is that you want to get back to being consistent on, whether it's eating properly or working out or posting social media posts. How can you kind of get back on track with doing that? And without beating yourself up over it, giving yourself some grace and compassion, and without giving into those excuses and that justification piece of it. So that's just what I wanted to share with you today. I'm always learning, things are always happening to me as well. I love helping my clients, get consistent and set up structures to help them be accountable and set up good habits. But I also know that it's sometimes we do fall off doing those habits, and that's totally human nature. But you know what? It's important to recognize that and then recognize what is important in our lives and recommit. And it's almost like a recommitment every day to what's important to us, because otherwise, yeah, we do fall off that bandwagon, and it's totally okay once in a while. But like I said, recommit, decide that you want to commit to something, do a ton of little action that that's really easy today to get back on track, and you will get back on track. So I'm just encouraging you to do that. I'm wishing you a great day, and thanks for being here.